Welcome to the English Out Loud podcast, a podcast where I give you tips on how you can enhance your spoken English. My name is Pat, and I'm an accent coach, and today I want to teach you something that you can actually start to improve about your own speech right away in terms of your accent. This is something maybe not everybody struggles with it. I notice a number of people seem to pick it up on their own just fine. However, if you haven't picked this up, you're going to hear some tips today that are going to help you enhance your spoken English in terms of your T pronunciation, what we would call the true T. Now, first I want to talk a little bit about myself, because I'm a little selfish. You see, I obviously speak English as a first language. Spanish is my second fluent language, and there are very different mouth positions between English and Spanish. Spanish is spoken very much in the front of the mouth. You put your tongue right up to the backs of your teeth. And you do this a lot for the sounds T, D, N, and L. T, D, N, L. Right in the front of the mouth, whereas in English it's a little further back. Well, you see, in Spanish I would often mix my words up, and off the top of my head I can't remember what I said, but I had offended people a number of times because of the way I was pronouncing my T's and my D's. To them it sounded really funny, whereas to me I didn't know any other way to pronounce them. And so one day, a nice girl I met who, actually I ended up marrying eventually, explained to me that there's a difference between the English sounding T and the Spanish T. You see, what you do for the Spanish one is you have to put the tip of your tongue on the backs of your teeth, whereas in English we don't put our tongue that far forward for many sounds. This took a little practice on my part, but within a couple of months of consistent focus, I was able to do this effortlessly. Now it's just the way that I speak Spanish. You can have the same result if you take the tips that I suggest today and apply them. If you feel for the things that I tell you to feel for and you focus, well, your T sound is going to sound real nice in no time, real clear for the American accent. Or honestly, any kind of accent, American, British, Australian, whatever you're looking for. Here's what you want to do. You see, you want to ensure that the tip of your tongue is touching the roots of your teeth when you pronounce the letter T. You should be able to hear a slight whistle as air passes when making the sound. You see, there are a couple common difficulties, one that a lot of people run into. It's either that you've got your tongue too far back or too far forward. Now, people who have their tongue too far back, I'm not trying to generalize here. I'm just letting you know from what I've seen. People with their tongue too far back are generally people coming from India, people coming from Italy. Often you're going to have the tongue a little too high up, pointing up in the mouth. And this makes your t sound more like t. That's called a retroflex position. We want to avoid that. We want to get t. Another difficulty is people having their tongue too far forward, as I've mentioned with Spanish speakers. I also notice with Russian speakers, people who speak Eastern European languages tend to put the tip of their tongue a little too far forward. Well, we've got to avoid that. We've got to change that habit, and we do not want to feel the backs of the teeth for this sound. we want to feel the roots of the teeth for this sound. So you see, if you feel the backs of your teeth, you want to try moving your tongue a little higher to the ridge, that hard ridge behind your top teeth. Whereas if you feel that your tongue is making a small pocket for the air, your tongue may be a little too far back and you want to loosen it up a little bit. Put the tip a little further forward, right to the backs of your teeth. The English T requires just one motion, but the positioning of it is essential to the sound. Here's how I suggest making sure you got it right. First, feel the backs of your teeth. The backs of your front teeth, that is. Feel that with the tip of your tongue. Then move the tip of your tongue upwards until you can feel the roots of your teeth. So the tip of the tongue is on the backs of the teeth, and then you move it upwards, and now we're at the roots of the teeth. Now you want to make a little bit of pressure with the tip of your tongue here and release that air as a burst of sound. Really listen for that sound. You want to get that little whistle when you release it. Now, you could pause here and you can just pronounce that again and again and again if you like. You got to get that feel for it though. So keep it up, that that like T ticking kind of sound. What we want to do next, now that you've got that position, you're feeling comfortable with it, your tongue is just touching the roots of your teeth, just above your teeth. So I'm going to read out some words here. What I want you to do is read it out just as I do. So I'm going to first read a T sound, make a T, and then I'm going to read out the word. Check this out, like this. T, T. Time. Two. Test. Top. So you hear that. You want to make sure you're getting that full kind of and then releasing it. Test. Just like that. All right, let's put this into some short phrases now. You want to get a good feel for this sound, of course, because the only way to enhance your English pronunciation is through muscle memory exercises. You gotta repeat these things many, many times, countless times. Let's get to it. So repeat this one after me. It's time to go. Time to go. It's time to go. 2 times a day. 2 times a day. Talk to you tomorrow. Talk to you tomorrow. Tell the time. Tell the time. Now keep in mind with each of those, if you heard yourself say time, time, tell the time, time, then you did not get the American T. I'm sorry, my friend. You're going to have to repeat this exercise again. And it's worth your time, isn't it? You don't want to get time. You want to get time. Neither do you want time. You don't want to say tell the time or 2 times a day. It's not 2 times. It's 2 times. In the American accent, at least. And the thing is, that's what we're here to work on. Now, I'm not here to poke fun at anybody. I'm just trying to tell you, hey, this is what we're hearing. And when people pronounce their T's in that spot, to an American, it sounds like D, 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 D. You see? Whereas what an American is listening for is t, t. So there's nothing wrong with your speech. If you want to pronounce things like d, d, no problem. Keep it up. That's fine. But we're not here right now because we want things to be the same. We're here right now because we want to step it up a notch. We're here to learn. So, really focus. Get the tip of your tongue around the roots of your teeth and just feel that t, 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 air pushing through. Tell the time. Tuesday, June 22nd, 2020. So let's step it up a little bit. Let's look at some tongue twisters. Why not repeat these after me just to get a feel for them? Two toads totally tired. Two toads totally tired. Two toads totally tired. Repeat that as many times as you can. The more times that you pronounce that T, the better. Here's another. Two tiny tigers take two taxis to town. Two tiny tigers take two taxis to town. Whoa. Woo. Okay, one more. The 222 train tore through the tunnel. Get a good feel for this. Practice reading those. Or, hey, even honestly, just Google tongue twisters with T. It's so worth your time if you get good at tongue twisters with the T. Now, worth your time. I said something is worth your time. I said it's worth your time to Google this. Worth your time. What's that mean? It's worth your time. Well, worth your time is something that Americans say to ensure you that your time will not be wasted if you do something. Americans are always afraid of wasting time. And so, if somebody tells you, hey, it's worth your time, they're trying to tell you this is valuable. This is a valuable thing for you to spend time on. And I'm telling you, the T, if you're trying to improve your English, the T is definitely valuable to spend time on, right? Okay, well, here are some other idiomatic expressions for the T. So one, it's worth your time. Another is that time is money. Time is money, my friend. Time is money. This is what we say because, hey, time is valuable. And time spent wisely earns a little money, doesn't it? So, time is money. Maybe you can make sales. You know, maybe you're making sales. You're getting commission off of those sales. Well, hey, let me tell you, my friend, the time that you spent in those sales, that was money. So, you know, if somebody is bugging you at work or something like that, and you can say, hey, look, I can't sit and chat right now. I got to get some work done. Time is money. Time is money. And they'll say, you're right. You're right. Time's money. Another one that you can consider is to say one step at a time. One step at a time. Interesting. We take things one step at a time. This is progressing slowly but effectively. When you take things one step at a time, you're not rushing yourself. You're relaxing. You're taking things at an easy pace, just one step at a time. For example, with learning English, you don't want to take things 3 steps at a time. You'll get confused. One step at a time is just fine. One step at a time. Let's talk a little bit more about time here, because time is obviously a rather important word in English, isn't it? So, hey, if at the end of this, you come away with nothing but the ability to say time effectively, then, well, I feel like I've done my job. Let's consider this one. How about time flies. Time flies. Time sure flies when you're having fun, don't it? Time flies. This is to say that time passes extremely quickly, particularly when you're having fun. That it always happens when you're having fun, doesn't it? Time flies. Now, sometimes when time flies, you lose track of time. Lose track of time. Were you tracking time? Where? No, you weren't tracking time, but when you lose track of time, you forget what time it is. Which is honestly kind of hard to do these days because we all have phones on us, right? But sometimes you don't check your phone for long enough, you forget what time it is, and you end up running a little late for something. Or maybe if you don't end up late, you get there just in the nick of time. Just in the nick of time. Nick of time. Just in the nick of time is to say at the last possible moment before it's too late for something. For example, suppose that you make it to a flight. We've all been there, running through the airport, maybe trying to make a connection. And you make it to a flight at the very last moment, just in the nick of time. Just before they close the doors, just in the nick of time. Oh, how many times have I been through that heart attack? A handful at least. I hate it. But it also makes flying a little bit adventurous, doesn't it? Makes it just a little bit fun when you're sitting on the airplane, you're thinking time's running out of time, and you're looking at the itinerary of your other flight, you're looking at the time, and then you're looking at the little screen in front of you trying to see, okay, 23 minutes until we're landing, and this plane leaves in 5 minutes. And then you're thinking, okay, hopefully they get delayed too. Wouldn't that be nice if they were delayed too? And then you go to get up, and everybody starts walking off the plane like there's a speed limit. You know, you got to get up and you're running out of time. You got to make up for lost time. You got to catch up. But these guys are like, oh, no, not too fast, folks. Not too fast. Like, oh, come on, buddy. Come on. And then finally you get through, and just in the nick of time, you make it to your flight. Now, I don't want to talk your ear off all day, so I'll get to wrapping things up for today. Thank you for your time. Now, if you've had a little bit of time to listen to me today, then, well, maybe you got a little bit of time to try out a free trial with something, just to see if you like it. Everybody needs to practice their English. Everybody's got to do it. But you don't always have time to practice your English, right? It's pretty short. You got to get somewhere. You got to get from point A to point B. A lot of running around involved, a lot of work. Well, there is a service available that you can fit in there quite often, actually, whenever you need. It's called Cambly. This is Cambly.com. Cambly. Now, I don't talk about services unless they want to give me money, and Cambly is going to give me a little bit of money if you go ahead and try it out. You see, all you got to do is make an account on there. You put your email and you use my referral code, which you can find in the description. And for making an account, they will give you a few minutes for free that you can call a tutor and you can chat with a tutor and you can get to know some people. Now, Cambly is a fantastic service because you can talk with English speakers from all over the world. All you got to do is take a little time out of your day to just meet someone new. You can talk to people from Canada like me. You can talk to people from all over the States, people from Australia, people from England, Ireland, whatever you need. South Africa, they're on there. Folk from South Africa are working hard on Cambly. Check it out. I can tell you it is most Definitely worth your time. Cambly.com, free trial. If you get on, they'll give you a few minutes for free so that you can get on. Just get on and listen and just say, hey, what's the deal? What is Cambly? Give it a shot. Better yet, get on and practice your T. Practice that T sound. Just tell them, I just learned the T sound on this fantastic podcast. I want to practice it. Tell me how I sound on the letter T. And they'll tell you, sure, I'll tell you how you sound on the letter T. Honest? Give it a shot. Listen to how they say their T's. Compare yours to theirs. But you can literally do this right now. Right now, you can do this. You can go on to Cambly, use the referral code in the description. 10 minutes. You can spend 10 minutes speaking English with someone. Do it. Try it out. Well, that's about it for today, folks. Thank you for listening. Feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you subscribe, then you will be able to listen to future podcasts as they come out. And there will be another coming out on Thursday. So stay tuned. Keep your ears peeled. And hey, if you're on iTunes, feel free to just write a little comment on there. Let me know what you think. When you write a comment, if you tell me, hey, I don't like this, I don't like that, or I particularly do like this, then those are the things I can hone in on. I want to know my audience a little better. I want to get to know folks. So if you like what you hear, feel free to write a little comment. Give me a little rating. If you don't like it, let me know that too. It's all good. But I hope to hear from you, because I can guarantee you will be hearing much more from me in the days to come. Well, I'll be talking to you later, ladies and gentlemen, and have a good one.